In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the door handle latch cable on the front door of this F-150. The same procedure will apply to the passenger side as well, so let's get started. I like to start at the door handle. You don't have to, but pull the handle out, and then with a pick or a trim tool, remove this plastic cap here. Sometimes it'll be hard to take off, might require a little bit of force. They are clipped in pretty tight here. There we go. Pry this away. This will expose an 8mm bolt. Remove it. Set it aside safely. Inside the grab handle, you'll notice a little cap. Take a pick or a pocket screwdriver, whatever you have that'll get in here. You have to pry this up. There we go. Once you pry it up halfway, you can go to the other side and pry it up the rest of the way. This will expose another 8mm bolt. Remove that as well. Pull it out of there. It's not the same as the other one, so make sure you don't mix them up. At the bottom of the door panel, you have two 6mm screws. There's one right over here. Whoa. Take that out. And then the other one is towards the inside of the door. Take that one out as well. Let's remove the master window switch. Use a trim tool. Pry it up in the back here. Be somewhat gentle. You don't want to break it. And work your way to the front. It should slide up and out. At which point you can flip it over once you have it out of there. And you'll see three main harnesses here. Start with this one at the back. Unplug it, then this one in the middle, and this last one at the front for the lock switch, and set that aside. Now take the door panel, slide it up, and it should unlock. Don't go too far with it because the mirror switch is still connected, so remove it off of the door. To disconnect the door latch cable, has two tabs, one on each side. I'm using a pick, but you can use anything that'll squeeze them in. And once you squeeze one in, try to pry it through to hold it squeezed in. Pry the other side. This is not going to be super easy, but this is the only way to get this out of here, unfortunately. Perfect. Slide it out. Take the ball end of it out of the door handle. Set it aside. Now the mirror switch that adjusts your mirrors has a tab on the front side of it. Press it and disconnect it. And now you can pull your door panel away. Now we have to take this piece off, which is only held on with an 8mm screw over here, or bolt, and then the rest will twist off once this is out. So remove it. And then you want to grab it, twist this that way, and this up, pull it away, which will expose this bracket right here with the three 8mm bolts that this is held on with. Remove all three of these. Set this aside. Now you want to peel the vapor barrier off. Start on the outer part of the door here. I'm not going to peel the whole thing away, just enough to expose the area that I need to work in. Make sure this sticky part either stays on the door or comes with it. It's important so that you can stick it back when the time comes. There we go. Leave this over here. At this point, you don't need to unplug this green connector here. I'm going to, just so that you can see things better. Press the locking tab and slide this up and out. Sometimes these are a little tough, so you might have to press right on the inner part of this locking tab here. Okay, now, like I said, you can still do this without doing that, but you can see this better. The cable will go into the door latch right down here. And what you're aiming for is to press on a tab that looks like this. That will unhook this whole plastic piece. You can see it right over here. So I'm using a pick. You can use whatever else you have that'll get in there. Little screwdriver. Press it down and out. just like that. That will unhook the cable. Now with a T27 Torx bit, remove the 3 bolts that hold this door latch in so we can unbolt it and twist it a little bit to free up that cable. And back on the inside, as you can see, now we can move it out of the way enough to where we can unhook this cable. There we go. This is what we were fighting the whole time, just a little hook. At this point, you have 2 options. You can either remove the cable from this retainer or pop the retainer out of the door using a trim tool. This retainer doesn't really want to pop out of there. It just wants to slide the cable out. So I'm going to leave it because it's in good condition, so I will reuse it. But the new cable comes with a new one, so if you have to install a new one, just do that. Other than that, here's your cable. This hole right here is what we're aiming for to hook the door handle cable in. Just so you know, it's not on the black plastic piece. That's where the plastic cable sheathing locks in, but that is what we're actually locking the cable into. So at this point, you want to take the hook side of the cable and try your best to lock it in there. It's not going to be easy, and you're not going to be able to see a whole lot, but this is the only way to do it. I'm going to unplug the latch temporarily because it'll give me a little bit more space over here. There we go. It doesn't angle it anymore, but it gets rid of this part of the cable. And now I'm going to try to slide this in. You basically have to hook it in and then twist it sideways. And it looks like I got it partially latched in. And now I just have to twist it flat parallel with the latch, just like that. Perfect. Now we have to line up the black part of the cable and lock it into the latch. It almost has like a track that it slides on, and then locks in at the top like that. Make sure it's flat and up against the latch. If it's not, that means it's not in its track and it can pop off. So that is installed on the latch side. We can plug the latch right back in, just like that. And since I'm here plugging things in, I might as well plug in this other connector, the green one that I disconnected. Make sure that clicks. And continuing with the cable, let's resecure it to the door. I'm reusing this clip, so I'm going to take off the new one that comes with it. Again, you can use this new one if your old one is damaged. Just take it out. Let's resecure the door latch. You'll have to hold it from the back side and line up the bolt holes. Okay, there's one. Once one lines up, it's a lot easier to line up the other two. Snug them up. Now let's put the vapor barrier back. Make sure the sticky tape here sticks for the most part. If for some reason you can't get this to stay back here, you can use some regular tape, painter's tape, anything you have, but it's important that this at least gets pressed up against the door, because as it rains, water does actually get in through your window a little bit, and you want to prevent that water from coming into the door inside the cabin. So just press this up against here, and now let's put the bracket on that sits up here. Let's put this bracket on, which goes over here with the 3 bolts, supports the armrest. Start those in. Tighten this up. Now we're going to take this larger foam piece, and you want to clip these white clips into the gray retainers like that. There's one at the bottom, one up top here, or on the side. And then at the top, it has one 8mm bolt. That's tight. Now bring your door panel in and connect the mirror switch. And for the door handle switch, you'll notice the cable end has a little ball end on it. Connect that to the handle itself. Bring it over like this, and you're going to want to push it through this hole until it latches in. You should not be able to pull this out. And of course, test the operation of the door handle to make sure before you close this up. One last thing before the door panel finally goes on, make sure these wires go through for the window switch. Okay. As we put the door panel in, you want to pay attention to the lock indicator. It needs to go through the little hole, otherwise it'll get jammed in there. Most likely your door panel won't even sit all the way because it'll be blocked by that. So bring this up and press it up against the door. And as it goes down, as you can see right now, it has not gone through the hole yet. I can see it. It's lined up. So I'm going to press the door panel down. And there we go. It was in the locked position, but if you just pull the door handle, it should pop up and through. Now let's put the bottom 2 screws in. Don't tighten these up too much. They screw into plastic, and they are very coarse thread, so they will strip the plastic out easily. Perfect. Now don't forget about the screw that goes into the grab handle. Tighten that down, and there's a little cap that hides it. Put that back. Put the master window switch back in. Connect all 3 connectors. Make sure they click. It has one of these clips on each end to lock it in. So just slide it straight down and press it in. Last but not least, put this screw in on the door handle. And then the cap, or the cover. And there you have it.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.